Today, we are diving into a topic that feels like it's from another time, but is also, incredibly urgent for right now. We're going to talk about what it actually means to be a peacemaker in a world that just feels so divided. We're going to unpack a practical guide that's drawn from some seriously timeless wisdom.
It really all kicks off with this powerful promise spoken 2,000 years ago. I'm sure most of us have heard this line before, but have we ever really stopped to think about what it's asking of us? I mean, what does it truly promise? It's an idea that has just echoed through the centuries. And today, we're going to dig in.
And that's the real question, isn't it? I mean, it's one thing to admire the idea, but it's a whole other ballgame to actually live it out. With this social media pylons, the political polarization, and just everyday disagreements. How in the world do we bridge the gap between this beautiful, ancient ideal and our messy modern reality? To figure that out, let's actually go back to where this all began. Let's try to get a feel for the world where this promise was first made. This is pretty fascinating when you put it side by side. On the left, you've got ancient Galilee. Think dusty roads, strict religious laws. And on the right, you've got us, social media pylons and nonstop conflict. The scenery has definitely changed, but those core feelings of fear, uncertainty, and outrage, wow, they are remarkably similar. The need for people to step up and be peacemakers is just as critical now as it was then. So where do we even begin with something this big? Well, the source material suggests the answer isn't out there somewhere in the world, but it's right here, inside each of us. It all begins in the heart. And for wisdom on this, get ready, because we're turning to some of the world's most profound and maybe surprising experts. These answers, get this, they came from primary school-age children. And it's just brilliant, isn't it? There's this purity to it that just cuts through all the noise and complexity. Help people, forgive, don't be mean back, share the last donut. I mean, come on. These aren't complicated theories. They're basic, compassionate instincts. This right here is the absolute foundation of peacemaking.
Okay, so if peace starts in the heart, where does it go next? Well, the first and maybe the most important testing ground is our own homes. Let's take a look at how this works through a really powerful story about a family that decided to run a little experiment.
So here's the deal. This family made a conscious choice. They were dealing with a difficult adult, and the natural reaction, the easy thing to do, is to just reflect that negativity right back. But they didn't. Instead, they tried something kind of radical. They decided to meet every curt remark with a deliberate outpouring of kindness. And the result was just astonishing. The whole dynamic didn't just get a little better, it completely transformed. It's such a perfect example of choosing your response instead of just letting someone else's bad mood control yours. That proactive choice for kindness changed everything. This quote just nails the whole idea behind that experiment. Peacemaking at home isn't a passive thing. It's an active, deliberate choice to build people up, especially when it would be way easier to tear them down. It's all about choosing how you act instead of just reacting. Okay, this is all great for our personal lives, but can these ideas really scale up? Can they heal the really deep wounds we see in our communities and out in the wider world? Well, let's look at an absolutely incredible real-world example of exactly that. This slide tells the unbelievable story of Imam Muhammad Ashafa and Pastor James Weah from Nigeria. On the left, that's their past, former enemies. And look, they weren't just on opposite sides of a religious argument. These were men who had suffered immense personal loss because of the violence. Their story could have just ended in a cycle of revenge. But on the right, you see their present, partners in peace. They chose a profoundly different path. And just look at what that choice created. They didn't just forgive each other. They built something incredible together, a center for mediation, a mission to teach others how to do the same. Their work has been so impactful, they've been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, not once, but twice. They are living, breathing proof that these principles of peacemaking aren't just some nice, fluffy ideas. They are powerful, world-changing forces. So, we've gone from the heart to the home to the community. And now, we've got to bring it all back to the most important part. You. Because this isn't just about interesting ideas. It's a challenge, a practical one-week plan to put all of this into action.
Okay, here it is. 3 simple but pretty profound steps for the next 7 days. First, in your home, the minute things start getting tense, just pause. Hit the reboot button with a kind word. Second, online. Before you hit send on that comment or that post, ask yourself one question. Is this going to build a bridge or a wall? If it's not building a bridge, just don't send it. And third, be proactive. Find one relationship in your life that's a little strained and take one step to repair it.
And as you think about that challenge, please remember this. There's this huge misconception that being a peacemaker is passive or weak, but it's the exact opposite. It takes incredible courage to absorb negativity and respond with kindness. It takes so much strength to approach someone with an open heart instead of a closed mind. It's the ultimate form of leading.
And so that leaves us with this final personal question. We all have places in our lives, in our families, our communities, our online spaces, where walls exist. After everything we've talked about, the only question that really matters is, what bridge will you choose to build?